This is a great conversation because for me, anticipatory grief isn't, um, you're right, it's much different if it's an adult or a child. And for me, when I first heard this term, and I'm not that familiar with it, to be honest, it's a good conversation. To me, it was more, grieving in advance, just like the terminology
Hmm.
sounds. But for me, it was more like rehearsing, rehearsing what it would be like, rehearsing um, what the ultimate moment would feel like, what it would be like when she was gone. And the best way I can describe it is and because this is something I've revisited over time with different challenges, particularly with my son, who
Hmm.
does also sometimes run into some serious diagnoses. At the end of the day, it sort of was like borrowing grief in a sense. Um, at the time with Alexis, my daughter, I think I believed in some way that rehearsing what it would be like would make it easier, or how will I feel. I let my head go in all different directions with that. And to some degree we can't control that. But what I will say, and what I later learned, was no matter what you think it's going to be like, number one, it's
It isn't.
not like that. And also borrowing it in advance, I guess I would just suggest that doing that is, it's not only kind of torture, but it doesn't
Hmm.
help.
Doesn't
It's
help.
just that you
Yeah.
started earlier, and we can't totally control what our minds do. But what was that experience like for you with Brian? Because you
Hmm.
had a little bit more time, I think, also.
Yeah. Well, we had 6 years actually, and I didn't know it was anticipatory grief because, like most people, I'd never spoken about grief.